Hey everyone, it is Mr. Vargas here looking to help out Math 8 with homework assignment 3.5, graph using intercepts, coming from page 213 and 214. Alright, Math 8, let's go ahead and jump right in. We'll look at number 1. So number 1 gives us this equation, y equals negative 2x plus 7. And we are supposed to graph this using intercepts. Really simple task. All we have to do is break this down into two easier equations where we cover up one thing and solve for the other thing. So if I replace, first time, if I replace the y with 0 and solve for x, I would have an equation that looks like this. 0 equals negative 2x plus 7. And the other equation, if I replace my x with 0, I would have y equals 0, because negative 2 times 0 would be just 0 plus 7. So here I've got the intercept of y equals 7. And then this one I'm going to have to do a little bit more work. I got to add 2x over to the other side. Cross that out. Get 2x equals 7, divide by 2, and x equals 7 over 2. So those are my two intercepts, x equals 7 over 2 and y equals 7. Let's see how we can graph that. Just doing a rough sketch. Here's my xy plane. Alright, x and y. And 7 up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is my y-intercept, so I'm going to draw a point at y equals 7, right there. And then my x-intercept, 7 over 2 is the same as 3 and 1/2. So let's go ahead and count that out on the x-axis, 1, 2, 3, 4. So halfway there would be right in the middle between 3 and 4. You've got 2 points. You can make a line. Go ahead and connect your points. Oh, that was bad. Alright, and that is it. Put your little arrows on, and you've graphed your line. Okay, let's look at number 3. Number 3 is a little bit easier since it's already in standard form. We've got 12x plus 9y equals 15. Alright, I want to break this down into two easier equations. The first time I'm going to cover up my 12x, or sorry, let's cover up my 9y first. Plug in 0 for y, and that just goes away. So I have 12x equals 15. And then when I cover up my x, I'm left with 9y equals 15. Solve both of these separately. On the left hand side, I'll divide by 12, x equals 15 divided by 12 can just be simplified to 5 over 4. Okay, and then y, I've got to divide by 9 on both sides, and I'm left with y equals 3 goes into 15 5 times, and 3 goes into 9 3 times. Alright, so those are my intercepts. I know they're fractions, so they're kind of annoying to graph, but we can figure that out. 5 over 4 is the same as 1 and 1/4, and 5 over 3 is the same as 1 and 2/3. So let's go ahead and plot that on our xy coordinate plane. Alright, so 1, 2 go into the x, and then we really just need 1, 2 go into y. Okay, let's plot our x first. X equals 1 and 1/4. So I move, oh, there we go. I move over 1, and 1/4 would probably be right about there. Can make that point. Okay, and then in the y direction, 1 and 2/3, that would be a little bit over halfway. So I can go 1, and then halfway in between would be 1.5. Go up to 2/3, probably be right about there. We don't need to be perfect. This is just a good estimation. Alright, connect your dots, and you've got your line moving right along. Alright, let's go to number 4, word problem. And here it says the table shows the cost for clothing store to buy jeans and khakis. The total cost for Saturday's shipment is $1,800, and you're given this equation: 15x plus 20y equals 1,800. And use the x and y intercepts to graph the equations, then interpret the x and y intercepts. Okay, so let's do that same process for standard form. We're going to cover one up, solve for the other letter, and then cover the other letter up and solve for the first one. So I'm going to break it down into two equations, two simpler equations. 15x equals 1,800 and 20y equals 1,800. Alright, solving this out, divide by 15, divide by 15. X equals 1, 2, 0. You can use a calculator for that if you have to. And this one over here, when I divide by 20, y equals 90. Perfect. We've got our x-intercepts and our y-intercept. Let's go ahead and graph it on an xy coordinate plane. Let me draw that really quick. Okay, so our x is equal to 120, so I'm just going to count by 40s here. This will be 40. After 40 comes 80. After 80 comes 120. This is my x-intercept, so I can draw that point on the x-axis. And then for y, I can also just do it by, let's go by 20s. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. That should be enough. Okay, and 90 is right in the middle of 80 and 100, so I can make that point right there for my y-intercept. And you are done. Go ahead and connect your line. Alright. Interpret the x and y-intercepts. So what exactly does this mean? Well, here the y-axis is representative of my khakis. And the x-axis is representative of my jeans from the word problem. These are my jeans. So what do these intercepts mean? Well, basically this just means that if I buy 0 jeans, right, I'm at 0.0 for my jeans, for my x-axis, how many khakis can I buy? I can buy exactly 90 khakis with $1,800. And if I buy 0 khakis on my y-axis, if it's 0, I can buy 120 jeans. So that's what the interpretation of those intercepts mean. So basically, if I buy, or if I get a shipment of 0 jeans, the y-intercept tells me I'll have, what was that, 90 khakis. Okay, and then you could write one more sentence, and I'll leave that up to you. Go ahead and try to figure out what it means if I buy 0 khakis. How many jeans would I purchase? And see if you can put that in a sentence. Alright, that's it for today. Good luck on the rest of the assignment, and see you in class.